Hello, 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 amigos. Can I get an amen? Now, how about a hallelujah? That's right, folks. Ready for liftoff? Here we go.
8, 7,
Show with no name time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Come on, let's go. Come on, get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. And get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name. Come on. It's a show with no name. Let's go. Hello, 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 show with no namers. Welcome. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. Yeah, why not? Why not? My amigos, it is an honor and a pleasure to teach you English today and every day. And I thank you for doing your part, for being the most amazing students under the sun. Yeah, we say the same thing. Bajo el sol, under the sun. You guys are the best, hands down. Ya estamos con mucho vocabulario. Apuntad. Hands down, nadie lo discute. Es indiscutible. You're not just good students, you're also good people. I see it in the way you treat each other, the way you treat me, your kind words to me, and your lovely voices in our weekly speaking exercise, the question of the week. Speaking of, wonderful job last week telling us about your favorite exotic animals. This week, your question of the week comes to us from Chris Valrol, one of your fellow students. She sent me a bunch of questions. And this one is, tell us about your first trip you took alone without your parents, unsupervised. So not your first trip, no tu primer viaje, but the first time you went away to go away without your folks, sin tus padres.
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's right. GrupoVaughn.com if you want to find out about our masters or any of the amazing initiatives we have over at Vaughan. All right, well, now we're going to take a look at one of the materials, one of the many materials we have available at Vaughan. At Vaughan Tienda, to be more specific. Folks, it's time for your pop quiz.
Pop quiz. Pop quiz.
Come on.
Yeah. quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz.
Welcome to your pop quiz, my amigos. And today we're going to take a look at something from a book for people who like to shoot hoops. Do you recognize this expression? Well, it's another way of saying play basketball. Maybe you say echar una pachanga, something like that. I think I've heard. So if you like to shoot hoops, well, even if you like any kind of sports, because this even has what to say and, more importantly, what not to say in a press conference. Una rueda de prensa. The book is called Speak Basketball, and it's available for 17 euros. All right, 16.95. Just under, o si queremos decirlo totally native, just shy of, shy como tímido, just shy of 17 euros. O sea, casi. It's a very totally native way to say it. In fact, that sounds like a good double trouble. I'm going to write it down. Just shy of. That means casi. Just shy of 17 euros. And you can pick it up at vontienda.com. If you live in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza, then you can stop by and pick it up in person. Also, if you're planning to go to the book fair, the Madrid Book Fair is now literally right around the corner. It's this coming Saturday. If you are listening live right now, the book fair is 5 days away. May 31st, I will be there with bells on. Muchas expresiones hoy, ¿eh? Y acabamos de empezar. Just shy of, with bells on, and we looked at a couple others in the intro as well. I hope you guys are jotting them all down and, even more importantly, saying them aloud. When I say them, if I highlight them, if I repeat them, that's your cue. Eso es tu pie para decir, me toca decirlo. All right? So I hope to see you there, folks. It is the book fair, Feria del Libro Madrid at Retiro Park, and it's taking place from 11 to 1. Well, it'll be all day long, but I will be there. If you want to come see me, 11 to 1. The stand is the same for everybody. So even if you're going to go see Richard or Jimena, 309. Write that down. Jot it down in your calendar. Stand 309. And I think I speak on behalf of all of us. We can't wait to see you there. So check out the schedule. You've got all the information. If you're following us on social media, they're posting the different timetables of each teacher, each presenter. So you can get all that information at grupovon.com. Or again, I think the easiest way is by following us on social media. So we'll see you there at the book fair. And a few days after that, we got a busy schedule. We've got a lot to do, but the good thing is it's all fun stuff. And I'm talking about the Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. That is June 3rd. So a little bit more than a week away. June 3rd, 2025 at 8 p.m. at the Toast Tap Room. Yours truly, un servidor, will be hosting the Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, and I hope you can make it to this free event. Again, if you want to find out more about the book fair, about materials such as Speak Basketball or the Trivia Night, you can get all that information by following us on social media. And if you need additional information, no problem. Just reach out, contacta con nosotros, and we'll answer any questions you may have. All right, folks, are you ready to speak basketball in today's pop quiz? All right, pay attention as always, because afterwards I'll have a couple challenges for you.
Pista 20. Capítulo 3. En ataque. Conceptos básicos. Pon a prueba tu oído. Los fundamentos ofensivos.
Offensive fundamentals. Okay, listen up. We're going to work on some fundamentals. I want everybody to come to this basket. Get in a line on the left wing and in the opposite corner. The ball starts on the wing. I want you to dribble twice to the middle, pass it with your right hand to the corner, and cut to the basket for a layup.
Can we shoot instead of laying it up?
No, I want layups in this drill. After the layup, the player who gives the assist has to grab the rebound and go to the line on the wing. Understood?
Yes.
After making 50 layups, we'll change the drill. Instead of passing and cutting to the basket, you'll pass it to the corner, set the pick, and roll to the basket. I want the player with the ball to fake the pass and shoot from the elbow. Okay? Let's go.
Pista 18. Capítulo 3. En ataque. Conceptos básicos. Verbos comunes en ataque 2.
Hacer un mate.
To dunk.
Hacer una bandeja.
To lay it up.
Perder el balón.
To turn the ball over.
Cortar a canasta.
To cut to the basket.
Coger un rebote en ataque.
To grab an offensive rebound.
Pedir el balón.
To ask for the ball.
Desmarcarse. Abrirse.
To get open.
Poner un bloqueo.
To set a pick or screen.
Tener la posesión del balón.
To have possession of the ball.
¿Puedes hacer mates?
Can you dunk?
Él hizo una bandeja con la mano izquierda.
He laid it up with his left hand.
Deja de perder balones y pásasela a tus compañeras.
Stop turning the ball over and pass it to your teammates.
Cogí el rebote en ataque y me hicieron falta.
I grabbed the offensive rebound and got fouled.
Pide el balón cuando cortes a canasta.
Ask for the ball when you cut to the basket.
Gabe, tienes que desmarcarte si quieres que te pase el balón.
Gabe, you have to get open if you want me to pass you the ball.
Dásela al base y pon un bloqueo en la esquina contraria.
Give it to the point guard and set a screen in the opposite corner.
No pidas tiempo muerto si no tienes la posesión del balón.
Don't call a timeout if you don't have possession of the ball.
Pista 10. Capítulo 2. Durante el entrenamiento. Verbos comunes durante el entrenamiento.
Calentar.
To warm up.
Estirar.
To stretch.
Hacer un corro.
To huddle up.
Dividirse.
To split up.
Competir.
To compete.
Discutir.
To argue.
Practicar jugadas. Practicar sistemas.
To practice plays.
Beber agua.
To drink water.
Concentrarse.
To focus.
Escuchar.
To listen.
Entender.
To understand.
Hablar.
To talk.
Gritar.
To yell.
Vamos a hacer una trenza de pase para calentar.
Let's do a weave drill to warm up.
Si necesitas más tiempo para estirar, por favor, hazlo fuera de la pista.
If you need more time to stretch, please do so off the court.
Todos, venimos.
Everyone, bring it in.
A veces nos reunimos en corro para hablar de nuestra estrategia de juego.
We sometimes huddle up to discuss our game plan.
Vamos a dividirnos. La mitad en esa canasta y la mitad en la otra.
Let's split up. Half of you in this basket and the other half in the other one.
Siempre compito. Me da igual que sea un entrenamiento.
I always compete. I don't care if it's a practice.
Adam, George, dejad de discutir y comunicaos mejor la próxima vez.
Adam, George, stop arguing and communicate better next time.
Deberíamos practicar nuestras jugadas al menos 2 veces por semana.
We should practice our plays at least twice a week.
Tenéis 2 minutos para beber agua.
You have 2 minutes to drink water.
Si no nos concentramos, van a seguir anotando con facilidad.
If we don't focus, they'll keep getting easy buckets.
Escucha atentamente. No voy a volver a repetirlo.
Listen closely. I'm not going to say it again.
No entiendo por qué tenemos que hacer este ejercicio todos los días.
I don't understand why we have to do this drill every day.
Tenemos que hablar más alto en defensa.
We have to talk louder on defense.
No me grites. Sé que no debería haber hecho eso.
Don't yell at me. I know I shouldn't have done that.
¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés.
Yeah, it is Weekend Town. It is Vaughn Town's little brother. And if you want to go away for the weekend and be immersed in a truly unique experience, then you're talking about Weekend Town. And I get it. I'm like you guys, many of you. A week? That's impossible. I can barely get a week, to take care of things I need to take care of. Like when I moved into my house, you can't get a week. You got to do that in a day, in a weekend. So sometimes it's really hard to get a week, especially if you have kids. You've got all these other obligations, right? You've got work. You've got all these things that we do in life, right? So we understand that. We heard you, and we decided that now, aside from Vaughn Town, which many, many people do have time to do. If you're a student, if you're unemployed, I mean, that's, or you have a lot of vacation time, or you have a job where you work 1 week and then you're off a week and you work 1 week, these kind of jobs where you rotate like that. So if that's not right for you, if you can't get away for a week, now we've got you covered. It is Weekend Town. I highly recommend it. I vouch for it. Do you know this word? To vouch. Well, a voucher es un vale. So quitamos la ER. And I vouch for it. You say poner la mano en el fuego. Okay? I will, I will put my reputation at stake to tell you that this is one of the greatest things we've done. Again, Vaughn Town is one of the greatest things we've done. What we've done is we've shortened it and we've made it accessible to more people now. Again, due to time constraints, financial restraints, right? The word restraint. How do we say restraint in Spanish? Let's see. Restraint. Restricción, limitación, right? Restraint. So, my amigos, I see we've got a lot of people here participating, checking in with us in our group. It's great to have you with us, folks. Thank you so much for joining us and for all your effort every day. And I'm talking to all of you, not just the ones who are here in the live stream, but all of you who tune in, day out, the ones who send me messages, the ones who say, Alberto, I'm there every day. I just can't participate, or I listen to you later at night, or I listen to you at the gym. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate every listener, wherever you guys listen from, however you listen, I appreciate you. So thank you so much. And I can tell you, I speak on behalf of all of us. You could, Rob would say the same exact thing and mean it. And Andy says the same thing. So we at Vaughn Radio, I know this because they're my friends. Okay. In fact, we had a barbecue this past weekend together. Okay. That just to give you an idea. And I can say, we think you guys rock. Seriously. I said it once. I think I said it a couple weeks ago here on the show. I said, I wish I had a bigger house because I would invite all of you to a barbecue. The problem is, not the problem. The good thing is there are thousands and thousands and thousands of Vaughn Radio and Show with No Name listeners. But the problem is you guys, not even a quarter of us would fit in my house. I don't, in fact, I can't, let's say I wanted to have like a big 50th birthday party, I would be limited to about 6 or 7 friends. Yeah, guys, Madrid, it's expensive. Well, Spain is expensive now. It got expensive. It wasn't when I moved here. But now the square foot, you say square meter, man, it's through the roof. Makes you want to see if there are other places in Spain where you could live just as good and not be up to your neck, right? So I'm sure I echo the sentiments of many with that. I always say it's a really simple question here. Have the prices gone up in the last, whatever, you can fill in the blank there. Yeah, they have. Okay, next question. Has your salary gone up? Did you hear the crickets? Well, of course, it goes up there, right? But you can't compare the inflation, especially in the last few years, with the amount, unless you got a super raise. But I mean the average raise that people get because of inflation. There's no comparison. So, as we say in English, every year you have less buying power. The same money gets you a lot less. So, anyway, I'm not here to be the bearer of bad news or anything like that, but it's great because you guys, I'm telling you, you are our salvation. I think about it a lot. I think about, man, doom and gloom. I'm a realist, guys. I'm optimistic, but I am a realist. And sometimes, when I see, just things like that, these injustices that I think everybody can, this isn't even like a left wing or a right wing thing. This is something anybody can get behind. Cualquier persona puede apoyar esto, ¿no? De everything, housing should be affordable. Tell me one person from one political party that doesn't think housing should be affordable. Okay, so why isn't it? See what I mean? So let's get to the English stuff here. Well, I'm not here to give you my opinion, but you know what? I'm sure I said I'm echoing the sentiments of many. But let's talk basketball, or I should say, let's speak basketball, because that's the name of the book. It's a book that we did in collaboration with Ricky Rubio. So hey, look, see, there's always a positive. We're talking about how, these negative things in the world and prices and inflation, these words that nobody wants to really hear. And then we look at that silver lining and we say, well, look, not everything is like that. In fact, the proceeds to this book, okay, I don't know what percentage of the proceeds is the money it brings in, goes to the Ricky Rubio Foundation. So see, there's always something beautiful and positive. If you love basketball, this is your book. I love basketball. How could I not? I grew up going to see Michael Jordan play and Magic Johnson. I've Shaquille O'Neal. I've seen all these people play like live and close. One time, this is for you basketball fans out there, especially old school, Dominique Wilkins. Does the name ring a bell? Well, Dominique Wilkins, he played for the Atlanta Hawks, a legend of a basketball player. He touched my shoulder once. Listen to me. I sound like a fanboy, but it's true. Violently. Now, he didn't do it on purpose. I had courtside seats with my aunt and uncle who lived in Atlanta. And we were right behind the basket. And he went to slam dunk. And you know how you overshoot the basket and sometimes they fall into the crowd? Well, Dominique Wilkins, who to me was like a superhero, touched my shoulder when he was falling into the crowd. And he was like, sorry. And I'm like, oh, no, don't worry. Don't worry. And I was like, wow, that is as close as I'm going to get to the action in a basketball game. But I love basketball It is one of my favorite sports, and I know it's extremely popular here in Spain. But folks, we'll take a look at those things for our pop quiz right after this commercial break. I've got a couple challenges for you, as always, related to, well, in fact, the good thing is they go beyond basketball. We're going to look at some expressions that you can use in many situations because, as we know, there's a parallel between sports, life, business, right? All right, amigos, we'll be right back with part 2 of today's show with no name. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show with no name. So many people participating and playing along with us. Even if you're driving in your car, you don't have to write things down. Say the different structures, expressions, vocabulary. Say it aloud. Dilo en voz alta. And this way you can drive home and learn English at the same time. No writing while you're driving, though, okay? No typing, no writing. But you can repeat the structures aloud, especially if you're alone. I can't think of a better way to make your commute home more productive or your commute to work. And we've got just the show for you. For the mornings, you've got the Pro Bow show. My buddy Rob Grams is like drinking 3 Red Bulls, a Monster, and I don't know any more names. He's like an energy drink. He'll make you laugh. He'll give you hot takes, unpopular opinions, and you can participate. And then for the commute home, you can ride home with my buddy Kyle Miller in his program, Drive Time, where he challenges you every day. And speaking of challenges, I think it's time for the Say What soundbite. Say what? What? All right, amigos, your Say What soundbite. This is where you're going to hear a famous person speaking. Well, 2 today. You'll hear 2 different voices. So today it's dialogue. It's a conversation. I think it's going to be pretty easy today. Prove me right. Right? You can say, prove me wrong, que es, demuestra que no tenga razón. And prove me right, demuestra que tenga razón. Okay? Remember, we don't say I have the reason, you have the reason, I'm right, you're wrong, right? Right and wrong. All right, your Say What soundbite here on the show with no name. Is everybody ready? We're Gonna listen to it right now for the first time.
Are you in the mafia?
Am I in a what?
Dad, I've lived in the house all my life. I've seen police come with warrants. I've seen you going out at 3 in the morning.
All right. Okay, I lied. One word there is really difficult. You might know it from the context, but she mumbles a little bit when she says it too. So maybe I'm gonna say it's a little bit harder than I initially thought it was because I forgot about that word and the way she doesn't pronounce it too much. So really, here, more than ever, we say this on every show, context is key. All right, here it is, folks, your Say What soundbite for the second time.
Are you in the mafia?
Am I in a what?
Dad, I've lived in the house all my life. I've seen police come with warrants. I've seen you going out at 3 in the morning.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace. Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit.
That's right, folks. My latest book is the shit. I imagine all of you have it, but if you don't, well, then you can pick it up at the Book Fair 2025 at the Retiro Park in Madrid. It is one of our favorite times of year. It marks the start of the summer, the good weather, you know, people wearing less clothes, menos ropa. Well, the ladies. And oops, did I just say that aloud? Oops. Oops. You see more skin? Yeah, I'm that guy who likes to admire women, but I don't stare. And as being respectful for my wife, I don't, you know, you look, you don't touch. That's, you know, you're allowed to look at flowers, right? You're allowed to look at beautiful flowers. All right, let me change gears before I get myself in a load of trouble here. All right, let's take a look at the challenges I've got for you in today's pop quiz. Now, the first one, I know you know the word dribble, right? Driblear, you say it too, regatear. It's something you can do in soccer. It's something you can do in basketball. But it also means when spit comes out of your mouth, right? You say babear. All right. Now that we just learned that, I know you know the word dribble means driblear, but did you know that? Babear? All right. Well, I'm going to ask you another way to say babear. Okay. Use it in context as always. Hey, you can use it with me. Alberto babea cuando ve las chicas por el retiro. Hey, I set myself up for that one. I walked right into that one. Os lo di en bandeja. I walked into it. Como si fuera una trampa, pues yo, no, entré en la trampa. I walked right into it. I set myself up, right? So use it however you want. I won't be offended. The idea is use the word babear, but not the word dribble, a synonym for dribble, and use it in context. All right, number 2. This is one I'm curious if you guys know how to use this structure or not. So let's say this. El árbitro pitó falta. Okay? El árbitro pitó falta. This can be applied to any sport, and we'll take a look at how it can be applied to any situation as well. Okay? So, el árbitro pitó falta is number 2. And number 3, if you ask Google Translate, it'll say to make pineapple. But it's not to make pineapple. I can tell you, if you tell your friends, come on, guys, we've got to make pineapple or we're going to lose this game. Hacer piña? No. I wish that would make my job a lot easier. I'd be like, yeah, hacer piña, pues make pineapple. Ya está. It doesn't work like that, right? It's just like, when you say, esto es la leche. This is the milk. To you, that means it's excellent. To Americans, it means nothing. I remember I had to explain. I had a lot of explaining, when the folks back home, mis amigos, y la gente en casa, en Estados Unidos, they were like, oh, congrats. Your mom told me you have a bestseller. This book is The Milk or something, right? What does that mean? I got a lot of confused people there. So, to make pineapple is not hacer piña. How would you say hacer piña? Okay. Hacer piña is, in case you don't know it, because I don't know if this is a global thing. I know this is used in Spain. It's reunir a un grupo y realizar alguna actividad para aumentar su motivación y mejorar las relaciones entre las personas. Lo que se viene llamando hoy en día team building, right? I think they call it that in the corporate sense. Team building. We're going to go away for the weekend and put ourselves through all these different challenges. Oh, and drink a lot too. I imagine you drink during these team building activities. Okay? So, there you go, folks. You've got 3 challenges in your pop quiz. The first one, give me another way to say dribble, pero como babear, no como driblear, which, by the way, that could be a double trouble in the future. The next one, number 2, el árbitro pitó falta. El árbitro pitó falta is number 2. And the third one, hacer piña. Use it in context, and this way we can see if you're using it correctly. All right, amigos, those are your words. Let's look at some basketball expressions that are used in everyday English. We heard slam dunk. I think you know that one, especially if you follow basketball. But also, a slam dunk is you did a great job, right? For example, Chris Valrol in our movie section, she always gets a slam dunk, or she slam dunks it. Or many of you in our spelling bee, you slam dunk it. The equivalent in baseball, you knocked it out of the park, right? Lo petaste, arrasaste, lo hiciste, genial. You succeeded, okay? What about on the rebound? Rebound is rebote. It's a good one to know. But if your friend tells you, well, I'm on the rebound right now. On the rebound means you're trying to get over, break up, no, una ruptura, or any kind of difficult situation or setback. A setback, un contratiempo, I think you say. So let me give you an example. After losing his job, he was quickly on the rebound, starting a new business. Okay? Or in a relationship. He just broke up with his girlfriend of 15 years, and he's already dating. He's on the rebound. Viene de rebote. Well, he's going to take a shot. Take a shot, disparar, no, una canasta. He shoots, he scores. Eso es lo que se dice muchas veces the narrators, the sportscasters. He shoots, he scores. So to take a shot, we know this one as well. You shoot in again, some of them are applicable to many sports. A buzzer beater, we've looked at this one before, or to do something at the buzzer. To do something at the buzzer is, right at the last second. It was a buzzer beater. Okay? What about swoosh or nothing but net? Both of these mean the same thing. If you think about it, nothing but net, solo red, right? Or swoosh, the sound it makes. Well, you know what that means? That means you did it perfectly. Pero si lo piensas en baloncesto, entró sin tocar el aro, right? I don't remember what that shot is called in Spanish. Again, I've never really watched too much basketball in Spanish. Even though I've watched the Spanish team, I've watched them in English at the Olympics, right? A lot of times. So I don't know all this vocabulary, but nothing but net. Like a la perfección, vaya tiro. Okay. This one I know we've looked at as well, to drop the ball. Man, you dropped the ball. We were counting on you. I vouched for you, para usar la palabra de antes, puse la mano en el fuego. I vouched for you, man, and you dropped the ball. La cagaste, Burlancaster. I love that one. La cagaste, Burlancaster. You dropped the ball. What about this one? Y lo tengo que decir, o sea, todo en su contexto. Airball. You can't say airball. You got to say airball because the whole stadium goes airball. O sea, this is the opposite of nothing but net. Airball means, wow, ni cerca. O sea, no has acertado, you blew it. Otra forma de la cagaste. It was a complete miss, a complete failure. Again, in basketball and, in a business sense, if you want. Oh, man, that was an air ball. We got to try something else. Eso falló completamente, ni se acercó a la meta. Okay? The basket in this case. Okay? To take it to the hole. The hole in this case is the basket. To take it to the hole means to be aggressive, to be direct, to go right into it. Right? Think about it. No tiras de lejos, vas directamente y con toda tu fuerza. Okay, again, if you can think about it in basketball, then you can apply it because it makes sense in life. A perfect shot. Well, you did a great job. Perfect shot, right? And my favorite one, and this was usually the position I played, bench warmer. Eso es. Calienta banquillos. Bench warmer. Nobody warmed that bench like me. And also, sometimes I was relegated to water boy. Yeah, water boy and bench warmer mean that you're not a part of the team. You aren't a part of the team. Okay? All right, so there you go, my amigos. Many other, too. I'm just giving you a few idiomatic expressions that come from basketball. I know we've looked at many that come from baseball. Baseball, I probably use them daily here on the show. With you knocked it out of the park, right? You cover your bases. Remember that one? Eso es súper usado. O sea, ¿has hecho tus deberes? Have you lo has pensado bien? ¿Lo has investigado bien? Have you covered your bases? Yeah, I've got my bases covered. I'm ready. I am ready. Okay? Again, if you know the sport, You never thought that, right? You never thought a teacher would tell you, the more you know sports, the more you can understand language. Well, it's true. It's true. And I know you use a lot of sport idioms in Spanish as well. None come to mind. Bueno, o jugamos todos o pinchamos la pelota. The one that we heard before too, the ball is in your court. That can be tennis because remember, tennis is played on a court. Also, basketball is played on a court. And soccer? Soccer is played on a field if you're American, just like football. Football, NFL. Or the British say a pitch. The pitch. Okay, so we speak the same language, but not really. Another one, they say their kit. The British say el uniforme que llevan. Their kit. Have you seen the new kit for the new season? And we say jersey. Right? Kit. Yo creo que ellos vienen así, el conjunto. The kit. Right? But for us, jersey. Que no es jersey. It's a false friend, right? Jersey, uniforme, que ahí tienes otra expresión. He hung up his jersey, right? Eso es, se retiró, se jubiló. Piensa lo que hacen cuando te jubilas si eres bueno, ¿no? Levantan en el estadio. I don't know if you have you guys ever been to an NBA game? You'll see the greatest players to ever play for that team. You'll see their jerseys up in the rafters, up all the way by the ceiling. I remember I was there. Speaking of basketball memories, here's another one. Drazen Petrovic. You guys remember Drazen Petrovic or Petrovic? Depends if you pronounce it the correct way or not. He was one of the greatest three-point basketball players, one of the greatest basketball players ever. And he was playing for the New Jersey Nets. And my dad used to get tickets all the time for the Nets games. And we went, and I remember watching him and saying, this guy's great. And then one day I'm listening to the radio. I think it was in the car. I remember quite clearly being in the car. And it says, basketball player Drazen Petrovic has lost his life today in a car accident. And I was like, what? And I went, I don't know if we planned it that way, but I went to the game where they honored him. So it was the first game back where he was no longer there. Que ya no estaba él. And I remember it was very emotional. The other basketball players came out and said a few words. Somebody sang a song. And it was quite emotional. I mean, the young guy died in a car accident at the height of, he was in his best moment. He was just getting better and better. He had international attention. And I remember that was the only time I have seen a jersey hung in a stadium. And I'll never forget it. It was where I realized, too, that sometimes sports isn't about kicking a ball around. Sometimes sports is about the stories, the people. You don't have to like soccer to be interested in the life of George Best or what's his name, Maradona. These people led interesting, crazy, yes, lives, right? To lead a life es llevar una vida. And there's if you know the two Escobars, talk about soccer stories. Have you seen that documentary? Creo que se llama The Two Escobars. Well, there's Andres Escobar, who is a Colombian soccer player who scored an own goal in a World Cup. And when he went back to his country, he was killed in the parking lot of a nightclub. So there's a whole world. They're not all tragic stories. Thankfully, there are beautiful stories. Look at Xabi Alonso taking a team that, was just down in the dumps. De Bajón. I think they were in second division. And then not only did he bring them to the first division and keep them in the first division, but they were undefeated. O sea, nadie les ganó. So there are all these stories that make the game. I know it with, when we talked about bikes the other day, or when we talk about tennis or Formula One, I get it. I get it, because I see that you guys don't just talk about, well, his car is the fastest. No, oh, this guy left this team because of this. So you've got the gossip, which I'm convinced in Marca and As in the summer. I mean, there's no difference between Cuore and Marca, or Hola Magazine and Marca. I mean, they're showing where the celebrities go, what haircuts they have, rumors. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if this is going to be like Cuore, well, at least give me some flip-flops and some sunblock with it, or a nice sarong for the beach. A sarong. Tengo que explicar esa, pero tengo que buscarlo. Sarong. Sarong? You call it a sarong? Pareo. Pareo, sarong. Oh my God. A sarong is that garment that usually women wrap around themselves at the beach. Sarong. Maybe you probably use falda asiática. Okay, because the word sarong, as we say, is an Asian word. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense that you would use the same word. Folks, I'd love to go to the beach right now, but we've got a lot of work to do. We're going to take a look at the answers to your pop quiz. We've got a lot of participation. We've got our spelling bee. We've got homophones, double trouble. Man, we've got a lot of stuff to do. So when we come back, we are going to put the pedal to the metal. You know what to say, folks. We'll be right back with much more. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the second half, the third quarter. Hey, we're talking basketball. The third quarter of today's game. Yeah, it's a game. Why not? We play, don't we? You guys are a team. Talk about teamwork. I've never seen a better team than you guys. And I know you're probably thinking, yeah, and I say the same about you at Vaughn Radio. So then, it's mutual. Decimos lo mismo. It's mutual. It's a mutual respect. And love, I think. Admiración, admiration, love. Platonic love. Like I care about you guys. But then again, what kind of teacher would you be if you didn't care about your students? Like, hello? Well, you never know. There are a lot of teachers out there who are just trying to get Instagram likes, trying to, fill their bank accounts. I get it. But it can't be too obvious. If you make it obvious, then people know you're just, in it for the profit, for the... My saying I always say, I use a homophone. Beware of false prophets trying to make a profit. Profeta, beneficio. Right? Profeta se escribe P-R-O-P-H-E-T, profit. And beneficios is P-R-O-F-I-T, but they sound exactly the same. So beware of those false prophets looking for a profit. You want somebody you can trust. And, it's great. It's great to have a lot of options now. There's so many teachers, so many academies. But also, you've got to be wary, receloso, with where you learn your English, because let's be honest, nobody wants to waste their time, their money, right, their efforts. So thank you once again for choosing us. Now, we just looked at some homophones, but we're going to look at the ones I've got planned. So you're going to get 2 for the price of 1. It's homophones.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And as always, we're going to take a look at words like profit and profit. That if I just said the word without context, you would say, ¿me está diciendo profeta o me está diciendo beneficio? Right? So that's what I want to know here. That without context, would you know what I was saying? All right. The first word is empleada doméstica. Criada, bueno, anticuado pone. Sirvienta, trabajadora doméstica. I think of in a hotel, you can call it housekeeping, but also there's another word as well. And it's not used very often now. It's antiquated, lo pone aquí también. Doncella o soltera, but it's not really used like that. So let's think of this word more as somebody who cleans a house or a hotel. Okay, number 2, the second word is hecho. Okay, so make, pues la tercera columna del verbo make. Okay, que tienes que saber ese verbo. All right, it also means, if you say it as an adjective, if you say he's a man, it means he's in the mafia as well. De hecho, hay una película que se llama Hecho, pero significa en la mafia. Okay? It's a really funny movie with Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau. And that's the name of the movie, and that's the second word in our homophone. So the first word is empleada doméstica, trabajadora doméstica. The second word is hecho o también en la mafia, si lo usamos como adjetivo. All right, my amigos, there you go. Those are your words. Are you familiar with the words? And do they sound exactly the same or not? You can tell us in the comments, or you can just say it aloud. Again, if you can't write, don't worry about it. I would prefer if you said the things aloud. If I have a choice, Alberto, should I write it or say it? Then I'm going to go with write. 9 times out of 10. Well, spelling bee, that's a writing exercise. But in general, I'm more interested with how you say each thing. All right, so there you go, folks. Those are your homophones. Let me give you the Say What soundbite as well. I'll give it to you for the 3rd time. Here we go.
Are you in the mafia?
Am I in the what?
Dad, I've lived in the house all my life. I've seen police come with warrants. I've seen you going out at 3 in the morning.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughntown, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughntown, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughntown.
That's right, folks. Vaughntown. You can also find out about our summer camps. We've got those spots. Go quickly, though. I'm just letting you know, spots fill up. They go really, really quickly. Well, why? Who doesn't, honestly, what parent nowadays, okay, doesn't want to send their child to an English, total English camp, whether it's a day camp, as we call them, the urban camps, or whether, your child is a little bit older and they go away for a week or so. So I think it's great because, again, it's not like classes. Let me explain. Our camps are activities, because how do kids learn? I know it with my daughter. My daughter does not learn if I say, we're going to practice the present perfect continuous now, honey. And then we're going to look at some phrasal verbs. She's going to look at me like, Dad, you've got some explaining to do. I don't know what that means. Meanwhile, she's already used phrasal verbs. She's already used the present perfect continuous, right? So that's the way. Kids are not interested in grammar, even their own grammar. They first need to hear it right. When they hear it right, then they can duplicate it. And after that, they can find the rhyme and reason behind it, right? But that's the order. It's not the other way around. And that's why Spain, if you put it on the European scale, has a lower level of English than many other countries, right? That's one of the reasons, because the powers that be at that time, I don't know who it was, I'm not blaming a person or a party here, decided we've got to teach people to read and write. Doesn't matter if they speak. Really? Okay. Good luck with that. And Richard and other people who came to Spain said, wait a second, what good is it if you can write me an email, but we can't have a meeting? I can't sit down with you and, go over some ideas. Clearly, that's, And we realized there was that, we, not really me, Richard realized there was this huge hole. A lot of people knew the grammar better than most native speakers, because native speakers forget grammar. It's done. You learn it and you forget it. In fact, a lot of times I think, why do we even have to learn it? As long as we say it correctly, what difference does it make if it's the past participle? Unless you're, a teacher and you're trying to teach, and it does help make things make sense. But then again, English is full. Chock full of, repleto de all these exceptions. I remember it all throughout school. Oh, I before E except. The A, the vowels, A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. What? Yeah, that's English. Why? Porque mira, la palabra que vimos antes. Just shy of. My daughter is just shy of. Bueno, todavía no, porque falta el verano, but vamos a decir que cumple la semana que viene. She's just shy of. Shy doesn't have a vowel. That's why we say A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. So sometimes I feel like grammar can confuse you even more, especially in the case of a child. I know it. But even with adults who, they're like, I got to find the why, though. And I've had students say it in class, too. Like, but Alberto, why do you say it like that instead of like that? And I'm like, write this down. John Jingleheimer Schmidt, in the year 1865, according to the British Journal of Proper English, decided, I'm like, I have no idea. Because on the second Tuesday of every month, I don't know, somebody decided we say this and not that. Somebody decided in Spain many, many years before English, right? Because it comes from Latin. And somebody said, well, tengo años. And in English, we said, no, I am, soy años. So right there, why? Well, because we express it in a different way. There's not, what I'm getting at, it's not like mathematics. This is like poetry. In fact, what do you think you need if you want to be a poet? You need to master the language, right? You need to get the ins and outs, los pormenores del idioma. All right, well, I see we've got a lot of students participating. A nice round of applause to all of you. Let's take a look at our pop quiz answers, and then we'll take a look at our homophones. The word we were looking for in the first part was to drool. That's right, to drool. Man, you're dribbling all over yourself. You're drooling all over yourself. And the good news, both dribble and drool, as well as verbs, are also nouns. You have a little dribble on your face. You have a little drool on your face, okay? Now, just be careful. You don't pronounce it drivel, because dribble is, again, we just said babear and driblear, no? Regatear, you could say in Spanish. But drivel, D-R-I-V-E-L, drivel, se escribe, is chorrada, okay? I don't know why you waste your time with that drivel. You're starting to dribble, right? Similar, except for that B and that V. Did you know the word drivel? Now you do. And did you know the other meaning of the word dribble? I see many of you did. And you knew the synonym to drool. And we drool. You know, you can drool because you see a pretty girl, right? And you don't literally drool, but you can say, I'm drooling over her, right? Food, right? Good food makes you drool. Or if you're a baby, or if you're a vegetable. We say a vegetable. And a person who can't really move very much, right? I guess that wasn't very nice. Well, I think you say the same thing. Don't you say in a vegetative state? It comes from that, right? So drool and dribble. All right. The next one, the ref or the referee. You can say ref. De hecho, cuando estás enfadado, ref, referee. Es muy largo. Ref, that was not a foul. So foul es la falta. And pitar, to call. Okay? The ref called a foul. Okay, we say llamar. And if you think about it, we use it. Here's where I was going to tell you. We take it outside of the sports realm. And you say, hey, Alberto, I thought instead of going to that store, let's go to the hardware store first, and then we'll go to the supermarket since it's on the way. I said, good call. Good call means good decision. O sea, a call is a decision. You say pitar, whistle, but we say it's the ref's call, la decisión. So call in this case is a synonym for decision. So good call. Ooh, that was a bad call. That was a bad call. Lo pitaste mal. Fue una mala decisión, right? And when somebody says that to you, the expression can be, I call it like I see it, right? Okay. I call it like I see it means yo no invento nada. Okay, esto yo lo pito como lo veo. O sea, digo las cosas como son. I call it like I see it. So I know you know the word call, llamar. But this is to call, es pitar o tomar la decisión que sea algo. So the ref called a foul. Again, good call, bad call. To call something like you see it means to not pass judgment, to not put your 2 cents in there, your opinion. And the last one, to make pineapple. Hacer piña. To make pineapple. Well, physically, if we're saying it physically, we're saying huddle up. Huddle up, right? And it's translated here, huddle up, because I've got to tell you something. Word reference doesn't have hacer piña. I Googled it and I said, let's see what Google says. And it said, make pineapple, by the way. So huddle up. Huddle up. It says here, hacerse un ovillo. Hacerse un ovillo. Acurrucarse. Okay, come on, guys. Huddle up. So that's to literally do one. But if we want to say hacer piña, we need to team up. We need to work as a team. We need to team up, toma phrasal verb, to team up or work as a team. And the physical one is to huddle up. So excellent job, guys. That's what I call teamwork. And there's no I in team. ¿Te sabes esa? There's no I in team. Significa que no hay que ser egoísta. El equipo va sobre todos. I, la letra I, pero I también es yo. Y un listillo te diría, yeah, but there is a me. Pero sí que sale M-E. Hey, these are those little totally native things. There's no I, like alguien dice, pero yo no he. Come on, guy. There's no I in team. Let's work together. Let's team up, right? Let's work as a team. Trabajar como un equipo. Let's huddle up and let's make it happen. We're going to win this one. So there you go, my amigos. Excellent. I see we've got some sporty folks with us. All right. Let's check our homophones right now. As I said, the first word is someone who cleans the hotel, someone who cleans your home. You can have a live-in one if you're very lucky, right? Another way to say this is housekeeper. But let's see what you guys came up with. I'm going to check the comments over here. And I see, wait a second. It looks unanimous. All of you are saying yeah? All right. Well, I'm going to say, la señora que limpia hizo un pastel de carne. Okay? The maid made some meatloaf. We say hogaza de carne, que en plural is loaves, no como hogaza. We don't say a bar of bread, a loaf of bread, right? So the maid made a loaf of bread. Absolutely. Great job, show with no namers. Yes. And as I said, if you use made, like made in Japan, made in China, made in Hong Kong, made in Taiwan, if you just say he's a made man or he was made back in 1988, means he joined the mafia. He became a member. If you become a made man, right, or if you become made, it means that you're inducted. You're officially in the club, and there's a ceremony and everything. I think they do the Blood Brothers thing. Thankfully, I'm not familiar with this world except for, well, Martin Scorsese movies and all the other movies that were made. Well, check this movie out, because now you know the meaning, another meaning of made, además de hecho. It means a mafia guy. And this is a story. It's a comedy. It came out in 2001, and it stars, as I said, Jon Favreau and Vince Vaughn. They're a great team there. And it's funny. It's goofy. It's one of those goofy mafia movies. You know, let's see. What is it rated? I don't know what it's rated here. It doesn't say. Where do you find the rating? That's a good question. Well, you know what? Anybody who's listening to this show right now, you guys are good. You're fine. You can watch this movie Made, because I think it's, oh yeah, here it is, for 15. So you got to be over 15 to check it out. And I recommend it, not just because now you know what the title means, but also because it's a funny movie. It's one of those movies where you don't have to think too much. It's kind of like the opposite of our spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Check it out. It is our spelling bee here on the show with no name. And this is round one. I am going to fly through it. So good luck. And you're going to have some numbers in here. You're going to have a little bit of everything. Let's capitalize the first letter of every word. Are you ready, folks? Let's set the mood a little bit here. There we go. The first one. Do you want me to do it in a British accent today? Yes, I will. For a specific reason, of course. All right, the first one is ANNE space BOLEYN. The second one is 1533-5 1536. The third one is HENRY space Roman numeral 8. The fourth one is BEHEADING. The fifth one is TREASON. And the last one is EXECUTION. There you are, my friends, in my best British accent. You have got your spelling bee. Yes, it is a bit difficult today because I threw some years in there. Why don't you try and imitate? I'm not saying I do a wonderful British accent, but I've been complimented on it. It's quite, I've got to say, my British accent is more of a caricature, right? It's more of a caricature. Nobody really sounds like this. It's like an amalgamation of all the British people I've met. Although you're thinking, Rob Grams doesn't talk like that. Yeah, he's not that kind of British guy. He's in his own category, right? And in the North, if you talk like this in the North, you could get punched. The North is different, guys. From what I hear, those Northerners, you don't play with those Northerners. In the South, well, it's the Queen's English. And speaking of Queens, this has something to do with royalty today, and that is why I have put on my best Queen's English here. All right, going once, going twice. All right, I'm going to give it to you again because all people in the kingdom decide and should have a second chance. But this time it will be a piece of cake. Let them eat cake. Ooh, speaking of a famous queen, que coman tarta, que coman pastel. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'll do this one in my normal accent, just in case, okay? The first one is ANNE space BOLEYN. The second one is 1533-1536. The third one is HENRY space Roman numeral 8. The fourth one is BEHEADING. The fifth one, TREASON. And the sixth one is EXECUTION. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with the rest of today's show. We've got a lot of stuff to cover. We've got Name That Movie, jokes, famous birthdays, Name That Lyric. We've got to hear our Say What soundbite again as well. So much to do and so little time. Folks, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. What a great job you're all doing today. Awesome. Keep it up. And don't forget to participate in our question of the week. Tell us about your first trip without your folks, without parental guidance. Hablando de las películas, PG, parental guidance. PG-13, parental guidance if you're under 13. R, restricted, that's 17. That's the rating system in the United States. All right, well, in this part of the show, we are going to kick off with today's Double Trouble. And I think it's going to be pretty easy today because the first part is a walk in the park, pan comido. And the second part, I know we've looked at it. I know we've looked at the idiomatic expression or the vocabulary in the second part. After the double trouble, we'll take a look at our Say What soundbite. That's going to be the fourth and final listen. Then we'll check our spelling bee words, which, by the way, a lot of people figured it out now. Great job, folks. Kicking ass. Slam dunk. We also are going to the movies. So much to do here. And we've got to do it all before that final buzzer. So, folks, it's time for today's double trouble. Yeah.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It is Double Trouble here on the show with no name. And as I said, I think it's doable today. Asequible. I think you guys should be able to figure it out. All right, here we go. El tipo alto. Fácil, ¿no? Come on. Hasta ahí llegáis todos. Ok. El tipo alto siempre está contando trolas, bolas, relatos fantásticos o absurdos, me pone. Ok. Contando historias. Ok. Far-fetched. The word far-fetched es buenísimo. Vamos a ver esa. Far-fetched es rebuscado. Right? Jalado de todos los pelos. Never heard that. Cogido por los pelos. Inverosímil, improbable, rebuscado. That would be, I know you guys say that. It's a hyphenated word. It's far-fetched. I don't know about that story you just told. It seems a bit far-fetched. Well, this is another way to say that. And to fetch es ir a por. O sea, ha sido muy lejos para traer esa. Okay, si lo traducimos como es, right? Literalmente. So this is, to tell stories that are far-fetched, that are not very believable. Okay, so el tipo alto siempre está contando trolas o relatos fantásticos o absurdos. All right, there you go, folks. You've got to use the same word twice. And now I'm going to give you the Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time.
Are you in the mafia?
Am I in the what?
Dad, I've lived in the house all my life. I've seen police come with warrants. I've seen you going out at 3 a.m.
Howdy, Richard Vaughn here, founder and host of Vaughn Radio. Meet my amazing team.
Hello there. This is Julia from the Let's Get Random show. Let's navigate life together, practicing our English.
Hi, this is Kyle Miller. I present the Drive Time Show every day at 6 o'clock on Vaughn Radio.
Hi, this is Jimena.
Y yo soy Nacho.
And you can listen to us every day on Test Your English
a las 12:30
at 12:30. Tune in.
This is Fitz from No Excuses. Let's get ready to rumble. Come rumble with me on No Excuses.
This is Chris with Frankly Speaking. The doors open every night at 7:30. Let's talk soon.
Hi, this is Dave Boyes from The Salad. Join us every day, live at 5.
Hey, it's Alberto Alonso from the show with no name. And don't forget about Rob, Andy, Ruby, and Tino.
Download our free app, Vaughan Radio or Vaughn Radio, and learn English with all of us on the go.
That's right, amigos. It's Vaughn Radio. Download the app and you can take us with you wherever you may go. All right, I see we've got a lot of students participating in our Double Trouble, and we've got some winners. Let's check it out. El tipo alto, the tall guy. Easy, right? The tall guy is always telling tall tales. Eso es. Or the tall guy is the teller of tall tales, right? You can say it's more of a roundabout way to say it. So the most direct way, the tall guy is always telling tall tales. All right. And that word tail suena como cola, pero no. Este es T-A-L-E. Suenan igual. They're homophones, right? De hecho, de ahí viene el juego de palabras de DuckTales. Oh, DuckTales. Colas, colitas de pato, pero también cuentos de pato, if you don't see it written. Okay, so if you tell tall tales, they're hard to believe, right? They're a bit far-fetched. So excellent job, guys. The tall guy is always telling tall tales. It's a bit of a tongue twister, I know. Also, great job in our spelling bee. And today we're going to take a look at Anne Boleyn. Anne Boleyn, who today, in the year 1536, she was, if I'm sure you guys know as Europeans, many of you, the Queen of England, right, at that time. In 1536, Anne Boleyn stood trial. To stand trial is to be on trial. Estar juzgado, right? Ir a juicio. She stood trial in London on charges of treason. Traición, sound familiar? Treason, treason se escribe. Adultery. Adulteración no es. Adultery. A ver cómo lo llaman. Seguro que es algo. Adulterio. Oh, really? Infidelidad. Oh, adulterio. Hey, look at that. Adultery. Yo iba a decir, no, adulterio imposible. Well, yeah. And this is the weird one. Incest. Yeah, that means sleeping with family members. And today, after standing trial in London, she was condemned or sentenced to death by a specially selected jury. And the judge es el juez, and the jury es el juzgado. And we all know the rest. Yeah, Anne Boleyn, she was, well, I tell the story here in the spelling bee words. Anne Boleyn was number one. Number two was the years that she reigned, que reinó. Okay, and that was 1533. Then there was a dash or a hyphen to 1536. The next one, she was the wife of Henry VIII. Enrique, you call him? What do you call him? Henry el Octavo, Henry VIII. And she was beheaded. So I gave you beheading. I can give you a different way to say it. Decapitation, beheading. Okay. Right? Decapitation or beheading. And treason was the fifth word. Traición, treason. And the last one, execution. Okay. And how do you say verdugo? I remember when I learned that word because of Juan Solo's novel, La Mano del Verdugo. It's an easy one in English. Executioner. Well, if it's an execution, the person who carries it out is the executioner. So wonderful job in our spelling bee. Wow. Learning some British history today. Yes, yes, yes. All right, well, we have got to move on, my amigos. So we are going to one of my favorite places in the whole wide world, the movies. Name that movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie here on the show with no name. All right, I'm setting the scene for you. You know me. I like to set the scene. Here we go. An intense drama about a boy torn between his tough, hard-working father and a violent yet charismatic crime boss. So, you either know it or you don't. This movie was made a long time ago, and it's not made, but the movie deals with made men, mafiosos, mobsters. Another way we can say it, he's a made man, he's a mobster. So an intense drama about a boy torn es entre dos tierras, right? He's being pulled on. Think of a piece of paper when you tear it. Estás tirando un lado del papel por un lado y el otro por el otro. Okay? So an intense drama about a boy torn between his tough, hardworking father and a violent yet charismatic crime boss, capo. Okay, does this sound familiar? Yes, it is A Bronx Tale. What a movie. Oh my God, I love this movie. And it's directed by Robert De Niro, the one and only Robert De Niro. He's also in it. He plays the hardworking father, the bus driver, and Chaz Palminteri, excellent actor. He always plays a mafia guy, but he not only played Sonny, the mafia boss, the crime boss, but he also wrote this. It started out, Chaz Palminteri, I think, is one of the most talented, because you think of, he's always a mafioso, but then when you see all the stuff that he's written and directed, and, you can tell that the guy he really loves drama, and he loves the whole thing, not just being on stage, but, writing it and telling the stories. Well, it's called A Bronx Tale. Acabamos de ver la palabra tale, right? In our Double Trouble, to tell tall tales. Well, A Bronx Tale, un cuento de los Bronx. And it's a beautiful story. And basically, Chaz Palminteri wrote it as an autobiographical one-man play. So this was him as a kid. And a lot of studios approached him because he was already known as a theatrical actor. And they wanted to buy the film rights. And one of those studios even offered him $1 million. Now we're talking in those times, $1 million was a lot more. And he refused to sell the rights to this story unless he had a couple caveats. Caveat es condición. Okay, he had a couple, it's a French word, caveat. Okay, I think it's a French word. And he said, I write the screenplay, because he already wrote the play, but you have to adapt it to the screen. And I play the role of Sonny. Okay, and they said no. And they said, no, we want to hire another guy to play Sonny. Okay, and then finally, Robert De Niro, he believed in him. He knew him as well from the acting community. Robert De Niro started in the theater as well. The best actors always do. Because if you can do theater, you can do film. Because you can do film doesn't mean you can do theater. You catch what it's a totally different art form. And Robert De Niro said, I'll tell you what, let's go 50-50 here. We'll do a partnership. And he said he would meet all his conditions, and he did. And his condition, Robert De Niro came on with a condition as well. And he said, I want to direct it. And it was his directorial debut. And the movie that came from this passion project is just a beautiful movie. Even if you don't like mafia stuff, this is a movie about family, about relationships, about love. It is an absolutely beautiful movie, and it stands the test of time. It came out in 1993. 1993, and it still has a 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb. Let's take a look also at the scene I've chosen. So Sonny, the crime boss, the mafioso, the mobster, says, all right, listen to me. I'm going to try and do my mafioso voice here. Hold on, let's set the scene a little bit here too. All right, listen to me. You pull up right where she lives, right? Pull up es te acercas con el coche. Before you get out of the car, you lock both doors. Cierras con llave las dos puertas. Then, get out of the car. You walk over to her. Te acercas a ella. You bring her over to the car. You dig out the key. Cavar. You dig out the key. You put it in the lock and you open the door for her. Then, you let her get in. Then you close the door. Then you walk around the back of the car and look through the rear window. If she doesn't reach over and lift up that button so that you can get in, dump her. And Calogero, the kid, says, just like that? He says, yeah, listen to me, kid. If she doesn't reach over and lift up that button so that you can get in, that means she's a selfish broad. Broad is not a nice way to say a woman. Again, this is a mafioso. She's a selfish broad, and all you're seeing is the tip of the iceberg. ¿Te suena? La punta del iceberg. You dump her, and you dump her fast. So he's giving him some relationship advice. It's a beautiful scene, and I don't want to tell you what happens, even though I'd be giving you a spoiler about a movie that came out 30 years ago. All right, it's A Bronx Tale, amigos. What a great movie it is. Right now, it's time for your joking.
Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar. You're joking.
All right, amigos, you're joking. Let's see if you catch these jokes as always. What did the gangster do to the old gangsters at the nursing home? ¿Qué hizo el mobster, para usar, to the old gangsters at the nursing home, en la residencia de mayores? He took care of them. Cuidó de ellos, but also, I want you to take care of this guy means I want you to kill him in mafia speak. Okay, so, I mean, you'll know from the context. I want you to take care of this guy. It means kill him. Okay, so you get it? What did the mobster do to the old gangsters at the nursing home? He took care of them. All right, what did the mobster do for his wife's birthday? He took her out. To take out, sacar por ahí, to take out, to kill. Yeah, the mafiosos have a lot of different ways to say kill. Take care of this guy. Take him out. Do him a favor. That's another way. Do him a favor. So imagine, he took his wife out and he did her a favor for her birthday. That means his wife is no more. All right, last one. If the mafia took over the paparazzi, what would that be called? If the mafia took over the paparazzi, what would that be called? A flash mob. Paparazzi, flash, destello de las luces, and mob is another way to say the mafia, un flash mob. You guys are lucky. It's time to move on to famous birthday trivia.
Birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. Welcome to Famous Birthdays. We've got to fly through these because we are trying to beat that buzzer. Going back to the basketball idioms, the first person was born today in 1948. An English singer, songwriter, keyboard player, and producer. He is basically the godfather, speaking of mafia, of ambient music. Okay. In fact, one of his albums, one of his very, very famous albums, is called Ambient One, Music for Airports. It's actually pretty nice. It's relaxing. Okay. But this guy has worked with U2, Peter Gabriel. I mean, he's worked with everyone as a producer. And he was also a member of Roxy Music. So a legend in the world of music. Number 2, this actor was born in 1952 today. He's best known for playing Sonny in A Bronx Tale. Wait, I just said his name. Oh, and he also wrote A Bronx Tale and the play with the same name. He was also in Modern Family, the series. He was in many movies as well, such as Little Man, Wise Guy. Hey, there's another way to say mafioso. Don't be a wise guy. He's a wise guy. He's a made man. Also, wise guy can be listillo. But again, just like to take out, to do a favor, to take care of, context is key. And last but not least, speaking of mafiosi, she played the most famous mafioso's daughter. No, not Don Corleone, the other one from Sopranos. She played Meadow Soprano on the ever-popular show, The Sopranos. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our famous birthdays today are number 1, Brian Eno. Number 2, Chaz Palminteri. And number 3, Jamie Lynn Sigler. And that's going to bring us to our Say What soundbite. This is Jamie Lynn Sigler as, what's her name? Meadow Soprano. And this is a famous scene. This is a scene where she finally confronts her father. She goes, Dad, I know you're in the mafia. And they're in the car together. You can hear, that's where you're hearing the background noise. And she just comes out with it. She says, are you in the mafia? And he goes, am I in the what? He's playing dumb. Haciendo el tonto. He goes, Dad, I've lived in the house all my life. I've seen police come with warrants, órdenes. Un orden policial is or de un juez, a judge's warrant, a warrant. Okay, it's an official document that police use to be able to do their job. So, Dad, I've seen police come with warrants. I've seen you going out at 3 a.m. So here she is, Meadow Soprano, played by birthday girl Jamie Lynn Sigler, confronting Tony Soprano, played by James Gandolfini.
Are you in the mafia?
Am I in the what?
Dad, I've lived in the house all my life. I've seen police come with warrants. I've seen you going out at 3 a.m.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric, only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric, only on the show with no name.
All right, amigos, what a wonderful job. What a way to start things out. You guys are kicking ass as always, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here with us and learning and laughing. Thank you for your energy and your effort every day. You guys freaking rock. And today's song we're going to look at to say goodbye is called Spider and I. Spider and I by birthday boy Brian Eno. And it's as weird as his other stuff, songs for airports. I mean, but hey, he got the attention of the world with not just the funny names of his songs and albums, but the style that he really was one of the pioneers for. So this is Spider and I, if you'd like to look it up. A lot of his songs don't have lyrics, so it was really tough to find one with lyrics. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll be back tomorrow with more. I promise. Ciao for now.